Hey everyone, it's Thomas from Tom's Garage, and today we're going to be reviewing two cases for the iPhone X, iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it. I've got the EvuTech Air Series Carbon, and then I also just got the Mous Limitless case. You've probably seen this one all over Facebook. It's been advertised very heavily. They've been around for a while. The video that you've probably seen is them waiting outside. I think it was the London Apple Store. They were like first in line. They got a phone, and then they put it in the case, and they gave it to people in the crowd to throw. It was very impressive. It looked like the case held up very well. So I placed my pre-order, and it took about like 6 weeks to get it. I pre-ordered the case right like the week before about my iPhone 10, and just got it yesterday. Didn't really see too many reviews on it. I don't know if there's any reviews yet. So let's dig in on both of these cases. Um, I've had the EvuTech for I guess about like a month now. So I'll compare those and tell you which one I think is the better buy. So let's start with the Mous Limitless case. So right off the bat, it's got some very nice packaging. It does come with a free screen protector. And to give you an idea of the price, I got in on the not quite the super early pre-order pricing. I think I paid $50 for it with shipping. I think right now it's 60. So they have a few different versions. They have a carbon fiber version. They've got like bamboo, I think maple, like a shell and a leather. I'm gonna put some pictures up so you guys can see those. So looking at the back, so they say it's slim, protective, functional, a smart combination of craft and technology. These cases are sculpted from high quality and natural materials, reinforced with AeroShock technology that ensures military grade protection. So they advertise this AirShock technology. So it's this special material that they've put in the case on the edges, and it's supposed to completely absorb or really or largely absorb a lot of the impact. So I think I saw an example where they had some of this material, they dropped a metal ball, and when they dropped it on wood or concrete, it bounced a few times. When they dropped it on this material, it almost stopped dead. So I guess it's kind of like a thick mouse pad, kind of like what I got here. It has like that similar feel. It comes with a free screen protector. So let's open this guy up. All right, so we've got this packaging here. Hey, I'm no ordinary screen protector. Triple layer protection, PC, TPU, and silicon, anti-scratch, and shock protection includes cleaning and application kit. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, definitely some nice packaging. It feels nice. Taking a look at the screen protector. So it looks like it's not glass. It's not quite it feels it's about as thick as like a glass protector. I don't know if you can see that, but it's softer. It's pretty malleable. I'm usually a fan of the glass protectors, mainly because I don't really like the plasticky feel. But I feel like this might be a good compromise. The thing with the glass ones, though, is while they do feel good, they do tend to crack pretty easily. So yeah, we'll see if I'll try that out. Another to note too, this is not like an edge-to-edge protector, screen protector. That's the one that I have on my phone right now. I'm gonna switch to another device. I'm actually recording from the iPhone 10. So once we go through this case, I'm gonna put it on my iPhone 10, and then we'll see what that looks like. So let's put that aside. Warning. These cases don't make your phone indestructible. These cases have been rigorously tested and thrown from big heights. Do not do the same. They may cause internal damage, crack screens, put that crane away. So they actually had a video where they dropped this from a really high crane. I think it was like 50 feet. By purchasing this, you've already signed up for a lifetime warranty. I mean, that's cool. I don't think I've really had a case fail on me before I ended up replacing the phone, but it's nice that they do that. Especially, you know, I guess this could be a case that you can keep for like 2 years if you get the iPhone 10 right now. I'm assuming the redesign is going to keep the same overall shape. Let's pull out this guy. All right, so we've got like a pretty nice carbon finish, so it feels smooth. Got your Mous logo on the bottom, large cutout for the camera. We'll take a look at those side buttons. So they're kind of cut out. Interesting. On the inside, you can see the green air shock material. So it goes all around the edge. Very nice. We'll say right off the bat, it feels pretty thick. You can see kind of like you can see the thickness of that camera protector, or the back plate when you look at that. So I mean, one thing that it does is it does make the back of the case completely flat. Because if you just take the iPhone 10 and you lay it on a table or a flat surface. Yeah, so if you just lay it like on a flat, if you lay your iPhone 10 on a flat surface, because it does have the camera bulge, it does make the phone not lie flat. So this will actually make the phone lie flat on a surface. So that's nice there. Taking a closer look, one thing that stands out to me immediately is the mold lines. You can actually see they're pretty prominent. You know, for kind of like a, you know, for a 60, let me do that. For like a, you know, the $60, $50 case, I would have expected that they would have kind of some better quality control on that. So let's zoom in here. Yeah, so you can see those mold lines. When you have it in person, you can actually see it a lot easier. I got a combination of lighting and then the camera being up close. On the inside, again, we've got like this nice pattern, this wheel, circle, disc pattern. Not sure what that's about, but you won't really see it, but it's a nice touch. It's a very solid case. It's not flexible, so you can't really bend it. I'm trying to bend it, and it's not working. So for example, like I have like a just a regular like TPU case, and that bends a lot easier. This guy does not bend at all. So again, take another closer look. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras, pop in the iPhone 10, see what that looks like. All right, I've got my iPhone 10 here. It's a beautiful phone. I really like it. I got the black one, so you've got like kind of like a black, dark gray finish on the back. You know, the black aluminum or black stainless steel, sorry, on the outside. And I do have like my edge-to-edge screen protector, so you can kind of see. What I like is it doesn't have, so there are two parts to it. There's like this black vinyl part, then there's the actual screen protector, but they have them meshed together pretty well. I just like that it was very easy to install because I just put it on when I had my phone in the case. And then it's very comfortable. There's no annoying glass protrusion, you know, sometimes when you're like swiping up. All right, so let's pop this in the case. So again, maybe we'll do like, so you can see how thick the phone is here. And then I'm just going to hold up the case next to it. So as you can see, I mean, while they advertise it as like as a thin case, it's pretty thick. I'm not gonna lie. The main thing is that back protrusion. So you can even see like from this angle, the back of the case is definitely thicker than the front of the case. I would probably say it's maybe like 50% thicker than the iPhone. And then let's see if I lie it down. Maybe we can do this. I'll go this way. So one thing that's interesting, and I think this is how they maybe advertise lower thickness levels, is the front of the case is sticks out more than the middle of the case. It actually kind of tapers down in a concave fashion, and then it comes back up. So it's thicker, or yeah, the case is thicker on the ends than the middle. We'll look at that in more detail, but it is thicker. When you lie down the phone, it doesn't look as thick because of the camera protrusion. But if you flip the case upside down, this is where you can really see that difference in thickness. Like, I mean, sure, this sticks out a little bit, but when you have it in your pocket, I mean, you don't really notice. You are going to notice this, though. I mean, yeah, so we've got the phone lined up. Basically, with both of the cases on their front, this mold line is basically where the iPhone 10 reaches in terms of thickness. So you can tell it's almost twice as thick, if not 50% thicker than the iPhone X. So the iPhone X is only from this edge to that line. Lying it down, you can see that. So if you want like a really thin case, and that's what I was kind of hoping for with this one, you're probably going to want to stay away from it. But if you want a strong case that looks good, sure. So let me pop this in. A little difficult one-handed. So it's got a nice fit. One thing I always like to look at is how do the camera holes and all the ports line up? So you can see that they did a really good job of centering it. You've got a pretty generous cutout for the speakers, for the stereo speakers. So that's good. The button, it looked a little thin when we were, just looking at the case, but because it doesn't have that much holding it, or there's not that much material holding the button to the case, it's very easy to press. Same with the volume buttons. A pretty large cutout for the rocker switch, but because the case is thick, it's kind of hard to get to it. You can't really do it one-handed easily. Over here, you can see, so when I first put this case on, I thought maybe something was wrong with it, or maybe I put the phone in crooked, because when you look at it, it looks like maybe like you didn't stick in one end all the way. But the case is actually designed like this. So the side of the case is basically flush with the phone. It's nice for swiping because the case doesn't get in the way. So that's actually nice in that regard. And then where it is thick, I mean, you don't really notice that too much, like at the bottom. That's where it's thicker. It's thicker at the bottom. It's thicker at the top. But then it's nice and thin in the middle. But even in the middle portion, like when we had the phone lie down, it's still a good bit thicker. This is basically how much thicker the case is. So you can see, that the camera already sticks out from the iPhone 10. And then you've got this case which sticks out even further by at least, triple the distance of the camera. So pretty thick case. I'm guessing the reason why it's so thick is because they did make it kind of like a two-part case where you have the case, and then depending on what design you get, there's a different insert. So anytime you have like a two-part design like that, it's always going to give you a thicker phone or a thicker case. Like you can't get around that. Solid case, it feels not bad in hand. One thing I don't like is the iPhone 10 without the home button. You're going to be doing a lot of swiping from the bottom, okay? And if you remember on the design, they made the case thicker on the bottom. I almost wish like this portion, this would have been great if they did this on like the top and the bottom. I would have really preferred that because you're on the iPhone 10 on day-to-day usage, you're swiping from the bottom all the time, and this gets annoying. Being able to hitting that portion. Swiping from the side to side is actually very comfortable. When you have a screen protector, it's flush. This, if we had a home button, that'd be fine because you're not swiping as much. I mean, even from the top too, you swipe a lot from the control and the command center. So really for that reason, this case is a deal breaker. So a couple things to summarize. It's a nice looking case. It feels good, but it's a bit too thick for my taste. The fit and finish isn't the best. Like with the mold lines, I'm a bit disappointed. The edges feel a bit rough. But really, it's the overall design. I don't like how the back of the case is so thick. It makes the case makes the phone back heavy, if that makes sense. And then the protrusion on the top and the bottom of the case, I really don't like that. They should have either kept it flush, but then you sacrifice some protection, or I don't know. This design just doesn't work well for me. And from day-to-day usage with an iPhone 10 with the swiping, I really can't recommend this case. It just hinders the experience too much. And I've been using this phone since it came out. While we've got that, I'll compare this to like a standard TPU case real quick. And then I've got the EvuTech. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on this guy. So I'll just pop it out, and then so you can just get a comparison of the size. So looking from the bottom, that's the thickness. So the EvuTech is definitely the thinnest. Then we've got like this no-name Amazon TPU case, and then we've got the Mous case. I'm looking at it from the side as well. Then overall size, they're about the same size overall. Like for example, if I put the EvuTech over the Mous case, I think it's about the same overall dimensions. They don't really vary too much in terms of width and height. It's really the thickness that's going to make a difference. So again, comparing these two side by side, that's really what we wanted to see. It's a good bit thinner. There is a camera cutout bump, but it doesn't bother me. I'm looking at the cases from here. You can compare the thickness, and then you can also kind of see the difference in the finish. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm going to post another video for the EvuTech, go into more detail. But the Mous case, again, a bit too bulky. But if you want a lot of protection and you don't want to compromise on that, I would definitely get this over like an OtterBox for sure. But if you want like a thin case, you might not be too happy with it when you get this. All right, that's Tom's Garage.